Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, y'all. It's Saturday.
It
I
is
don't know why I'm so excited
Saturday.
about Saturday and I'm sitting up in this traffic. You know, make no sense.
Huh?
I said, I don't know why I'm sitting up here excited about it being Saturday and I'm sitting up here in this traffic. It don't make no sense.
It's traffic?
Yes. That's the first
You
topic I
driving by
want to talk
yourself?
about. Mhm. No, no ma'am, no ma'am, but I'm driving.
Huh?
Um, yeah, that's the first. I said, no ma'am, no ma'am, but I'm driving. That's the first topic I want to talk about.
Get it
The
going.
first topic I want to talk about is about this Virginia traffic. I'm here to say that if you are a listener or a viewer right now and you in this Virginia traffic, please move out of KD's way. I'm trying to get to where I need to go. Get out the way. Why is this traffic ridiculous in Virginia? It's just stop and
I
go.
guess
It makes no
everybody
sense.
knows that you
Why?
can't drive real fast and they be having to do the speed limit.
I am annoyed.
Everybody know
But
Virginia
they
is known for giving out them tickets, honey.
They sure is. Everybody doing the speed limit. They on these brakes like I don't know what.
Yeah.
But I need y'all to move out of my way. I got to get where I'm going. But anyway, I am so happy it's Sunday. I'm happy it's the weekend.
I am happy
I'm
it's the
happy
weekend
it's the
too.
weekend. I am happy to relax and put my feet up. Well, I can't relax and put my feet up because I'm getting right back on the road.
Huh?
But I said, well, I can't relax and put my feet up because I'm getting right back on the road.
Oh, okay. So are you just coming here to get your stuff?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
to get their school supplies, and I'm right turning right back around.
So you just hopping up and coming back and going right back.
Right, pretty
Oh, well,
much.
bless your heart.
You will say,
Bless your
I
heart.
don't like nothing about you. But anyway, how was your week? Let's talk about your week. What's going on?
My week has been very crazy. Um, I don't have my car anymore. Somebody jacked my car away from me, and it's fine. I just, I can't even think about it anymore. I don't want to think about it anymore. I'm just gonna pray about it and just, everybody keeps saying, "Did you call the police? Did you call the police?" Yeah, I called the police. What they gonna do? What is Baltimore City Police gonna do? They can't even solve murders. They not gonna be looking for my car.
I know.
They are not finna go out here looking for a beat up Nissan Altima because a poor girl car got stolen. They not going to do that. But it's okay. I mean, I love my baby. I had Rebecca for like 4 or 5 years. How long have I had Rebecca? I don't know. I
I
had
know
for a
you had a
minute.
name for her.
Huh?
I know you had a name for her.
I name on my car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my car name is Rebecca. The
Okay, why
Jetta.
you named the car Rebecca?
The car I had before I had Rebecca, the white Jetta. Her name was
Okay,
Snoopy.
but why you named your car Rebecca? I just need to know.
I forgot how I came about that name. I think Jalen asked me one day, like, why could I hold Rebecca? And I'm like, who the hell is Rebecca? He's like, your car. I'm like, sure. I'm
I
like,
like
sure.
it.
That's been her name ever since Rebecca.
Oh God. Okay,
Yeah, I think
so
that's how it came
David.
about. Jalen had actually said, why could I hold Rebecca? And I'm like, who the fuck is Rebecca? And that's her
So
name, Rebecca.
David has named this called Stacy. Stacy Dash.
Stacy Dash.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Why Stacy Dash?
Because it's the Mercedes girl at Dash.
Oh, okay.
Stacy
Okay.
Dash. But you
Stacy
can
Dash.
actually think of Stacy Dash as like clueless. You know, they was all ritzy and like high maintenance. So you can actually go either way with it.
What is this? Oh, nothing.
Clueless. What do you think of clueless?
Yeah, I think a Clueless. Yeah, but she didn't drive in Clueless. She didn't know how to drive.
But I'm just saying, like you can reference it to like high maintenance. You know, they was all high maintenance and wearing Chanel and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think of a Mercedes, you think of
You know, Clueless is like one of my favorite movies.
Mine too. I knew we was best friends for a reason.
I love Clueless. I love watching Clueless. That's one of my favorite movies.
You know they trying to bring their little outfits back.
I'm gonna go lay down and watch Clueless.
And you see how they trying to bring all their little outfits back?
Yes, all of the
I,
clothes and everything.
girl, I saw a little two-piece little shirt outfit. I said, I'm gonna get this pajama.
But that's
With a
everybody's like
little
Halloween costume go to. Clueless.
hmm
That's everybody Halloween costume go to. Speaking of Halloween, Halloween is coming.
Yes.
I'm a
I
little
don't
excited.
know
They
when.
got
I
candy
started
out
getting
already. Like they got
I
Halloween
know.
stuff out already. Like you
I
go to these
know.
things, they is pushing this agenda, and then before Halloween is even over, Christmas shit gonna be out.
It sure is, and I'm gonna be there.
Before Halloween even get here, they gonna have Christmas shit out. Watch.
They are my two favorite holidays, Christmas and Halloween.
Really, my favorite holiday is my birthday, and I'm gonna say Christmas. I like Christmas. I like the coziness that I feel during Christmas. I like the warmness, like how it make you feel all cozy inside and stuff. Um, so I like my birthday is my favorite holiday, and I'm gonna say Christmas. Maybe Christmas. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Katie, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say my birthday and Christmas. I
Yeah,
like
Christmas
Halloween.
and
I
Halloween.
only like Halloween now because it's Jalen's birthday. So that's what make me really like Halloween now. But he don't be wanting to
It's,
do nothing like nothing fun, nothing cool, like have a Halloween party. He's never been that type. No, nope.
I
I be like,
had a
"You
Halloween
party for your
party. Well,
birthday?"
you
He be like,
remember when
nope.
you bought Faith and I had a
Huh?
Halloween party for them kids?
Oh yeah, Jalen do
I
not
like
be.
a good Halloween party,
I want to have a
especially when you
nice,
got kids.
fun Halloween party. I want to have a lit Halloween party. Everybody dressed up, like having a ball. That's what I want to do. But we'll see. Jalen don't I don't understand his birthday on the greatest, like I don't want to say the greatest holiday, but on the funnest holiday ever. And he just don't want to do nothing. He just be like, no, I don't want to have a party. I don't want to do anything. Y'all, it's me sitting outside hoping that these people bring my car back. That they just be like, here, you can have it. It's broke up and beat up. Here, you can have it. But that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen.
Sorry,
Huh?
I keep losing
You what?
um my ear things. They went low.
I'm trying to. What you say, Kia? I mean,
Can you
Kay?
hear me?
What you say? Your what?
Oh, my ear things went low.
Oh yeah,
My
AirPods.
ear pods, yeah, they
Oh
went
okay.
low. But yeah, I love Halloween. I like Halloween because I like to decorate. I like to do the scariest possible things I can do within the house for them kids. And then I have my faithful Chucky doll that I'm never giving away. My brother gave it to me before he passed away. He found it somewhere and gave it to me, and I'm never giving that Chucky doll away. But
Oh,
yeah,
you
that's
you
my
got it? You still have it?
yeah. I got that daggone Chucky doll. I always take the Chucky doll and I sit the bowl of candy in his lap with a little fake knife.
For the kids?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
and
cute.
then I even get to play in the child's play, the little child's play song.
Yeah.
I play that when Chucky is sitting out. Yeah,
Oh,
they
that's real
used to
cute.
it now. At first, they were scared. Like they used to be scared. Like mommy, it's in the closet now. Halloween is over. Can you go put it in a truck or something?
It's
But
like you
now,
should do that for Halloween. Like when kids go trick, when the kids come, like the trick or treaters, you should
yeah,
put it outside and sit the candy in the bowl outside with him holding the candy for the trick or treaters.
right.
I think that would be really nice.
I did that before, but the kids weren't scared. I think like the little babies were scared, but for the most part, them older kids, they just look like yeah, all right. But
That's
you
a
know what? Kylie and David and them, they get a little creative when it comes to Halloween. So I had the Chucky doll out there one year. I had the Chucky doll out there sitting on a chair, and I had the little candy bowl sitting on the slab and a little fake little blood knife. And what they did was when they seen the trick or treaters come, they would hide in my van. And one of them had the costume on from Scream. The other one had the Michael Myers costume. So they would hide in the van, and when they see the kids come, and the kids be so concentrated on Chucky, and they would jump out the van on the kids. They get so creative
Oh
around
wow.
Halloween.
Oh wow.
I think my whole household enjoys Halloween. Gemma, she's still into her princess stuff, but the other boys, oh, they like to get real scary. They like to scare other kids and all that other good stuff. So I love Halloween, and then Christmas. Those are my two favorite holidays that I will go all out with, like decorations and stuff like that. I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for
How about y'all? Anybody's out there listening or watching? What is your favorite holiday? Please be sure
holidays.
to comment or leave us a comment. Let us know what's your favorite holiday, why you like it. Uh, your birthday should be your favorite holiday to me. That's a holiday off the top. My birthday is my birthday. Girl, it sounds like you over there tussling. You all right? You okay? You over there tussling? You I don't know. You got pulled over or something. Is you okay, Kay?
Yes, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I told
Sound like you
you
over there
they go.
tussling or something. You all right?
No, that's the thing on road. On road is rough. I'm right here at Dumfries and Manassas. This road is rough.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This
They
road is
always
so
rough roads
easy.
over there in that area.
Yes, I'm behind a truck and this thing go, yeah. But yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah,
Labor
maybe my
Day
favorite
weekend is
holiday.
coming up next weekend. Everybody got a 3 day
Everybody got
weekend.
a 3 day weekend.
Do you have any
Do you
plans?
have any plans? Who got a 3 day weekend?
Y'all don't close for
Y'all
Labor
don't
Day?
close for Labor Day? That's next weekend, ain't it?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah,
Labor
that's what
Day
I just said.
weekend.
Labor Day. Oh, I thought you said next week, this weekend. I'm like, wait a minute, did I miss that? I thought it was next weekend.
No,
Yeah, we
it's next
closed.
weekend.
No, it's next. Yeah, girl, we close like a regular bank. I love it. Even though I work from home, we still on bank hours. And you know, bank they do observance Mondays. I love it. I love everything about it. But you know what's crazy? Some people still be wanting to work, and they tell you that they gonna pay you anyway. This lady was so excited. She was like, "Yeah, I couldn't wait because I ain't gonna be doing nothing anyway on Labor Day." I said, "You lost your mind.
You lost your mind. But no,
They gonna
listen,
pay you
that's
anyway.
what I
You
found out
still gonna work."
because I work for the state, but they have different positions within the state. Like
In
I
the
work
state,
for
like
a
I work
contractual
for
position.
a position.
So it's just
So
basically
it's
that
just
every
basically
year
that
I
every
just have
year
to
I
resign
just
a
resign
contract.
the contract.
However, I don't get
However, I don't get
holidays, I don't get
holidays, I don't get
holidays, I don't get a
holidays, I don't
pension
get
and stuff like
pension
that.
and stuff like that.
So me and my
So
coworkers
me and
was
my
like, I
coworkers
wish
was
they
like,
gave
I
us
wish
the
they gave us the
option of working on
option of
certain
working on
holidays.
certain holidays.
Like for
Like
me,
for
my
me, my
holiday would be
holiday would be
like the holidays I would
like
work.
the
I would work
holidays I
Labor
would work. I
Day,
would work Labor Day.
4th of
I would
July.
work 4th of July.
I would work like
I would work
President's
like
Day,
president.
like silly
Like
holidays that
silly
we get
holidays
that
that
I
we
don't
get that
really
I
think
don't
that I need to
really
be
think
off
that I
for. I
need to
would
be off
work.
for. I would work.
I would do that.
I would do that. Labor Day and I work on 4th of July, stuff like that. I'm just, that's you
Huh?
get paid. Huh? Can you hear me?
What you say?
What you say? I said days like 4th of July,
Days like 4th of July, I don't like. Like I don't mind working. Like it don't bother me to work. Like I would much rather work. Like we get holidays that we be like, that's dumb. Like days that I didn't even know it was a holiday. You be like, what? So like I said, I would work President's Day. I probably wouldn't work like Martin Luther King. Definitely ain't working Juneteenth. Um, I would definitely work like
they work
President's
like president.
Day. They give us
They give
Native
us
American
Native
Day or something like that. Native American
Native
Pacific
American.
Islander Day. They give us all types of freaking holidays that I had no idea was a holiday. And I'd be like, can I just come to work? Like, geez, I don't want to be off. But it's so many different holidays that the state has, and I wish they just gave us the option to either work or don't work. But they don't give us that option because they just don't. It's the state of Maryland. They're not giving you shit. They're not giving us shit. But I like working where I work at. I mean, it is what it is for the most part. But let me pick and choose my holiday. I feel like jobs should let you pick and choose what holidays you want to work. I don't work on my birthday, period. I don't see how people come to work on their birthday. I can't do it. I will never be able to work on my birthday. Never. I could never do it. It'll never happen. Okay. Anyway, is there any holidays that you would prefer to work? Any holidays you want to work or don't want to work? Like, what are your thoughts? Like, share your thoughts with us. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook, our Instagram, and on YouTube. We are under the Artist Echange. Do not forget, if you would like to be a guest on the show, don't forget to send us a DM or email us at PodcastIAmShe@gmail.com. We are definitely looking for more guests, and we're looking for more topics. So if there's anything you would like to talk about, feel free. But comment, let us know what holidays you like, what holidays you want to work, what holidays you don't want to work, whatever your choice may be. Hello?
Yeah. So I know you watch a lot of TikTok.
Huh?
I said I know you watch a lot of TikTok. I haven't really watched too many TikToks lately. Or Instagram, because I know I've been seeing a couple of hot
I can't hear you.
Have you seen anything out of the ordinary? Have you seen anything out of the ordinary as far as like TikTok?
Anything out of the ordinary as far as TikTok? Like, what you mean? Like, weird
Yeah,
stuff?
like no, not weird stuff. Like anything like controversial wise. Like, like last week we talked about the guy who had to marry, the wife that was upset about, like, the child support.
Oh, weird stuff on TikTok. Well, this morning I was watching a video of a girl who there's a trend that goes around with this sound. That's like a really depressing sound, but people use it for more so like if their parents or their brother or somebody died or passed away, they'll use that sound. But this girl used hers to tell her father, like, this is what you've missed since you disowned me. So apparently she started dating a black guy, and her father disowned her for dating outside of her race. And as I'm reading the comments, a lot of people was in the comments experiencing that. One black girl said she tried dating outside her race, and the boy that she was dating wanted to keep it a secret, but because one of his parents didn't approve of her because of her race. And it's just so crazy how so many people are battling that. I don't know if I could date somebody who I know their parent hates me secretly, or not even secretly, openly hates me. I don't think I could date outside my race. That's one of my fears for dating outside my race, number one. Like, that is a fear. I don't want to date somebody and I know that their mother or their father or somebody in their family don't like me because of the color of my skin.
Do you have a problem with your child dating outside of his race?
I don't have a problem with my child dating outside of my race or outside his race. However, I have a problem with it when he decides to disrespect or track down on black women. I don't like that. There's a TikTok of this black guy who was saying he don't date black girls. There's a term, if it ain't snowing, we ain't going, or some shit. And he called black girls the bottom of the barrel, and he was just down in black women, and he was a black man. And it was just like disgusting to see, because if it's one thing to date outside your race, but leave us out of it. Hello.
It's not mine.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
We can hear you. Ooh, I hear you. Sticking out the side.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Can't hear myself though. Hold on.
You can't hear yourself.
I mean, I can't hear you. Hold on.
They said I
I
can't hear
can't.
myself. How you can't hear yourself?
I mean,
It may
shut up.
it may be that you can hear me. You can hear me.
I can't. You real low.
Uh, it might be your earpiece. Check your earpiece.
All right, I can hear you now. Hello.
Oh wow.
Is it?
What
Is it fine?
what is the hello? It's giving weird. It's giving weird.
Yeah. So back to the topic. Yeah, we are back from commercial, y'all. Back to the topic because I don't know. I never had an issue with my kids dating outside of their race because I have never been taught or told that it was not okay for me to date outside of my race, along with the neighborhoods that I grew up in. I grew up in so many neighborhoods with so many different, so many different cultures and so many different races. It wasn't really an issue no matter who I brought home, as long as they passed down all they no, well, my mother wasn't no drug dealers as
Right,
far as she
right.
knew. It was fine. So, like you said, I think that's okay.
I mean, like I said, for me, before we transition, for me, I don't mind. Just don't. I don't mind just as long as he doesn't bash black women, especially when you were birthed out of a black woman. Your lineage is a black woman. I don't mind you dating outside your race. Do what you do, but don't be out here like these stupid guys who are calling black women less than and having white girls who you're dating after us think that we're less than, think that he don't like y'all, he this, he that, and the third. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. By no means. Go ahead, date outside your race. Do what you want to do. Find love where you're going to find love. But do not down a black woman or be out here talking shit about black women because you want to make the next chick feel good about where she lies with you. I mean, I could go deep into this, but I'm not going to go there. We're going to transition to our topic. But like I said, date who you want to date. Just don't be out here disrespecting black women, calling us trash, calling us bottom of the barrel, especially when you came from out of a black woman. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But let's transition to our topic. We're back on the back to school topic, but this time we're gonna take it a little bit further. We're gonna go to college edition. This is for all of my parents who are about to be empty nesters or who are sending their first kid off to college, whatever it may be. If you're an adult going back to school yourself, good luck for you. Good job. That's a great thing to do. But listen, this back to school college hit a little different, baby. it hits a little different, especially when they moving on campus, especially when they are moving into a dorm. It's like they moving into a new apartment, honey. You gotta buy clothes, you gotta buy new bedroom sets, you gotta buy a TV, a microwave. It's like moving your child into their very first apartment. That's what moving them into a dorm is like. To me, that's what it's like, because you gotta go buy all of this shit. Like when I was younger and I used to look at the back to school ads and like the Target paper that Target used to have a paper that they would send out. Walmart had a paper they would send out every week. And when I used to look at the back to school, I'm like, oh, I want that. I like that bedroom set. And I always thought, like, why do we need a new bedroom set every time we go back to school? But I didn't know it was for college kids. Baby, when my son went back onto college, honey, first of all, it's these kids going to college away from you. Okay, if they living at home and they going to like Morgan and they living at home, that's fine. But baby, it's these kids moving into these dorms for me, honey, because why is it so expensive? Why? You gotta buy them everything new. You gotta buy a refrigerator. You gotta buy a microwave. You gotta buy a TV. You gotta buy towels. You gotta buy dishes. You gotta buy a living room. Or thank God I ain't had to buy no living room set, because they had the way Jalen's apartments or dorms was set up. They had a little living room area. They had a little bullshit ass couch that they provided for them and little table and chairs. But only thing we need to do was buy him a TV. We had to buy him a mini fridge. I had to buy so much shit that I did not sign up for. And it really, like, you will burn your pockets when your child back to school. Listen, this college is not for the weak. Sending your kids to
not for the weak.
Not for the weak. Baby, you need a heart of gold. You need a strong heart to send these kids back to college. Because, honey, baby, it costs a lot of money. I was saying how it's just like moving them into their first apartment. You got to buy a TV. Right. You got to buy a refrigerator. You got to buy a microwave. You got to buy all of this dishes. Child. It's not for the
Now the question is that I have, as far as colleges, are you the crying parent, or are you, all I got is 10 minutes and I'm going right back on the road because I got things to do, parent?
I was the crying parent.
Oh, boo.
I mean, I'm a crier by nature. So it was really hard for me to leave him. It didn't hit me until I got on the plane. Like, oh my God, my son is gone. Like, it didn't hit me, because when I moved him in to his dorm, I didn't see him for days. And we went to San Diego. I think like the day before I left, we went to San Diego. Went to the zoo with my sister and my nephew, and Jalen and his friend, and we had a little good fun time. And I didn't see him no more. It was like, all right, Mom, I'm going back, going back to school. See ya. It was like, I was in the hotel room by myself. I was so lonely. It was like, when I got all his stuff and he got them keys to that dorm room, baby, he was gone. He was done for. It was no coming back.
That, especially when you go to college with people when y'all all going to the same college, with y'all graduate from high school, and a couple of y'all end up going to the same college. I can see that.
It was a really nice. It was a really good experience for him. I think that I tell him all the time I want him to go back to. You don't gotta go all the way to California. He's like, I don't want to. He really broke down and told me, like, college ain't for me. I'm like, you know what? I have to agree. Everything ain't for everybody. And as much as I want you to go to college, what's it ain't for you? It ain't for you. I don't want you to spend your money. I don't want you to get all these student loans. I don't want you to get all this backed up debt because you feel like it wasn't for you. I said, follow your heart and what you want to do. He really wants to be. He really want to invest in stock. So that's what his thing is. And he's 19. And like I told him, don't let time get beside you, because just because you're 19 don't mean that you got forever. You don't have forever, because time will creep up on you, and before you know it, you 25, 30 years old. Yeah, that's what I said to him too. At least you cried. You went for 2 semesters. You did pretty good, and then it was also in the middle of COVID, so it was a lot going on. And I'm like, I commend him for that. I commend him for trying. And he did. He has made a lot of friends. He's met a lot of people. He's already been in a well-rounded guy, but he's really into himself. He met friends from Lebanon. He's met friends from Egypt. He had one friend from Turkey. Like he had friends from all over. So I commend him for making friends for a lifetime. So yeah. But I told him I commend him for going. He went yesterday. He went with his girlfriend. She's going to Frostburg, so he went down there with her yesterday to help her move in and show her the ropes and stuff like that. He he felt like he was an experienced college guy, so he wanted to show her, like move her in, help her with her dorm and things of that nature. He's really a nice kid.
Oh,
He
I
spent his
think.
time
Hold
with him.
on. I think Lauren going to Frostburg.
Yeah, she's going to Frostburg too. Yeah.
Tell him stop past Lauren Dorm and
Yeah,
help
that's
her
what I said. I
too.
wish I would have known Lord was moving in yesterday. I would have told you go help them out.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I
So
am so. I don't know. I am so excited for when I had the opportunity to send all them children off to college. I am excited.
it's a good thing, but just remember it ain't for everybody. So one of them might come back like, no, that ain't for me, mine. I can't do it. And you have to
Oh,
be okay with that.
I can't.
You have to be okay with it.
I can't.
Because I
I'm
would
not.
rather him tell me that he don't like it than to keep going and get all this money in debt and be failing. And now he got to owe the money back. I don't want that for him.
Yeah.
I don't want that for him.
So what? So as a as a parent who had a child that went to college, what are some things as far as preparing for college did you wish you knew ahead of time before sending him, as far as like, because I know you keep saying getting in a debt, getting into student loans and things like that. Is there anything that you found out after the fact that you felt like, oh, maybe we should have took advantage of, or David, maybe you should have took advantage of, as far as like covering college expenses, things like that? Because everybody always push that. Make sure you do a sport. Make sure you do
I would
academic.
say I wouldn't make for his first year. I didn't let him work. I wouldn't let him work because I really
Understand
wanted
that.
him to focus on college, and I really wanted him to get it down, like be focused, know what you want to do, because it's not like high school. Nobody's going to make you do anything. Nobody's going to make sure you turn in anything. Nobody's going to call your mom. Nobody's going to do any of that. So I really wanted him his first year. I really, really, really wanted him to just buckle down and focus, not worry about too much, money and stuff like that. And then also where their college is played a big part too. So it was like making sure that everything was easily accessible to him. Like he could walk to the market if he wanted to. He couldn't walk to like Target or anything, even though it would say it's like 15 minutes away. 15 minutes in California is not really 15 minutes walking. It's really like a hour because everything is across the freeway. Now it's a 15
Oh,
minute
geez.
drive. But yeah, everything in California is not within walking distance. I didn't want him catching a bus. It wasn't like he was in a bad area, but it was California. So,
Right.
but the beach was down the street from his school, which was pretty cool. That was like a 5-minute walk. But for the
Mm,
most part, I just made sure that everything was accessible to him. Make sure he knew where to go. Make sure he had everything that he needed. I did not, like I said, I did not want him working a job. I did not want him have to worry about that. He did go to school for football, so that was a good thing. But for the most part, just make sure that you got them set up for their first year or their first 1 or 2 semesters. Just make sure that they have everything that they need. They
right.
say it may not be for everyone, but we must still encourage them to try because they may drop out now, but down the line they may try to complete celebrities like
Right.
oh yeah, they all went back to school late in their career. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um
that's correct. That's what I did. I started school. I got enrolled in college. I got enrolled in CCDC right out of high school. My father
right
took
out
me
of
up
high
there.
school.
I tried so many majors. I swear, I done went through three different majors. I started off with nursing, then I went into construction management. Then I went into IT. Then I dropped out. I went back for medical assistant, and now I'm right back at IT again. Like I have tried so many
That's
times,
my
and
biggest
so
thing because our lives are ever changing, and for us as parents, we expect so much out of our kids when it's like we didn't even know what we was doing when we were their age.
right,
I don't put my foot down too much on Jalen. I do be like, look, all right, well, you're not gonna lay around. You won't work or something. Like I do be pushing him to get a job. He is working, so that's good. But I be like, look, we're not gonna just sit around. You're not gonna be idle because
right,
when you sitting idle, that's when you start to do stupid shit. So for me, it was good morning, Miss Sharon. For me, it was like, college not for you. Okay, I get it. What's next? It's always what's next. And I can't expect him to make a decision about where he wants to be or who he want to be right now because he's only 19. It's going to change. It's not going to remain the
right,
same. And I don't want him to be stuck in a life where he's unhappy. He's in a career where he's unhappy. I tell him all the time, find something that you like and make the best out of it. Make it something that you love. If you know your child is not the best with learning, money, time, relationships, make them do a year at a community college. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
That's exactly what
That's
it is.
true.
Make them do a
And
year at
it
a
helps
community
them to
college and do
transition.
general studies. Do general studies.
Yeah,
Do
it
general
helps
studies
them to
before college.
transition
That
too.
be your major.
Yeah, that's
We all
definitely.
change. I change different. No, I still want to be a teacher. I do. I just need to finish. But for the most part, I don't want to be a teacher in Maryland because, honey, the pay ain't even that great. Like I was looking at how they're trying to by 2025 they want to make the teacher salary $66,000. That's it. That's it. 66,000. That's it. Baby. When you got nurses getting paid 120,000 a year, you got people you got social workers out here who getting paid in six figures, and you giving me five? Oh no.
Mm-mm.
We
To
can't
do
even hit
more
a
with.
hundred. We can't
If
get a
I
hundred.
ever if I ever had the patience to become or be, anywhere in the education field, I would choose to be a professor. I said I would always choose to be an English professor. I don't know why. It's really kind of intrigued me a little bit. And at one point in time, I did, start looking into it. What it takes to be an English professor, but it take a lot of work. I ain't got all that time.
I
But
can't. I can't teach adults. I can't
that's where
because
I would
one
go.
thing about
I would not.
adults are already set in their ways and they already have their mindset and they already gonna come with their excuses because they know what's gonna work. I can't
Oh
deal
no,
with
honey, I was looking at the salary. I wasn't looking at the adult that I
Oh
was
yeah,
teaching. I was looking at the
I can't
salary.
work with
I
adults.
was looking at
I
the
cannot do it.
salary.
I cannot see myself going through years of school, going through years of teaching, and to end up being a professor at a college. Hell no.
It was the
Mm-mm.
salary for me.
Can't do it.
I'm
Can't
all
do it.
about my coins. Before
It's
I
just
choose
one of
a
them
major
jobs that no matter
now,
how much I'm getting paid, I can't do it.
yeah. Well, that's
It's
where I'm
it's,
at.
it's one of them
It took
jobs. No
me
matter
to
how much
really.
you pay me, I can't do it.
That's true. That's true. Depending on who you're working with. Depending on who you're
Depending
working
on
with.
who you
If
work
you
with, I
somewhere where you gotta work,
I
yeah.
don't
If you
have
gotta
time
work
for the
somewhere in public or anything
I'm
like
too
that,
old. Like I be like that now, like working at my job and I be working, with older people. I'm the youngest one. So which is kind of weird for me. But anyway, it's like I'm the youngest one on my team and I be working with, older people and we had this older lady who started and I was helping her out with some of those things, but she just did not want to learn. She just did not want to set aside her own thoughts and stuff to learn something new. It was just like, nope, can't do it.
that's true though. That's true. When I worked at the OBGYN office in Columbia,
Mm-hmm.
it was only the older women that would complain about any change. They
Yep.
would complain and talk about how it's not going to work or it's too much work or
Yep.
I don't think this is a good idea. Where all of us younger people, we would just jump on board like, all right, I got it. What's next? I got it. Am I getting a
Right.
raise behind this? I got it. But you're right. You're completely right. It's the
Older
older
are
people.
hard to teach. They are hard to teach. Like I said, they're set in their ways and
I
they
think
feel
they're
like
intimidated. I think
they
it's
learn
intimidation. I
here.
don't think. I don't think they set in their ways. I think it's intimidation of
But no,
failure.
it
You
can't
know,
be
because they
because this
already know
lady
how to
is getting
do
her
it.
master's. This lady she just graduated with her master's in May. She
That ain't for her.
knew
She got a master. She ain't got time for you.
exactly. That's exactly what it was like. It was like I'm getting my master's. I don't got time. It was like I
I
don't want
got
to learn.
time.
No, can't do
Okay.
it. And it's simple stuff. She's like, we have an office job. This lady really says to me, I don't think I can do this much longer because I ain't planning on just sitting here all day. You in the office? Where you thought you was gonna do that? She said, I can't do this. I can't do this too much longer, honey. I can't be sitting here all day because looking at this computer. I said, well, what did you expect this job to be?
Where she was going?
What,
I'm confused. She was going outside.
I can't be sitting at the computer all day just typing. I said, well, what you thought we was driving trash? I don't know.
Ma'am, did you read the job description?
Before you even got the job, did you even know what it was about? Because this is in the office, ma'am. We're not outside working in the field. We're not digging up dishes. You are working in the state of Maryland and Department of Education. What did you think it was going to entail?
I hate when people tell me that. People be like, I can't work from home. I don't know how you do it. What? If you can't do what? Why would I come in the office and get paid even what you make it or more than what you make it? And I can sit up on my little bed. Is you crazy? I hate when people always tell me that. How you work from home? That would drive me
Mm-hmm.
crazy. And I do. I'm good. I prefer to.
Right,
You don't
exactly.
have to. I prefer to, but you don't have to. You're right. Everything not for everybody. But yeah, I like working from home. I don't understand why people have such an issue or people always say, I can't do that. It'll get
Huh?
boring. I'll drive myself crazy. People that say, they can't work
They not
from
let me
home.
work from home. Hi. They know not to let me work from home because baby, that job ain't gonna get done. It ain't gonna get done. Krista, we have a Zoom meet today. I'm in the bed, sweetie.
Oh God, you said I'm in the bed. Right. I wait till the last minute. When we have Zoom meetings, I wait till the last minute and try to throw a t-shirt on.
Trying to throw a little cute shirt
Like
on.
I'm here. I'm here. What we doing?
Take my bonnet off my head.
Right. I'm here. What we doing? I got up to the last 2 minutes. The meeting was at 11. It was 10:58. I'm just getting up. I'm here. What we
I'm,
doing?
I'm logging on at 10:59.
Right. Like
But no, knock the
I
egg.
like I
Knock the
like
internet.
working from
Internet
home
don't
though
work.
because right. I like working from home because everything is convenient. You save money, when it comes to lunch and stuff like that. You save money. You go in there and make your little lunch. You can go in between, your breaks and you can get your little coffee. Some people, like some of my coworkers, they be sitting up there talking about on their downtime, they be folding and doing laundry and stuff. So it's more convenient for me. The kids like it. The kids like the fact that they see me when they get home. They like the fact that they see me before they go to school. It's just convenient for me. And then the fact that, I'm going into the IT field, which is why I'm going into the IT field. One of the reasons why is because you can continue to work from home. That's the best job ever. So I don't know. I guess some people, I'm a homebody too. That's the other thing. I can't, I don't always like to be outside
Yeah.
unless it's something to do. I don't always like to be outside. It got to be stuff to do. And I don't mean one or two things like, all right, we're going here now, what next? I mean, I have to have a day plan of what I'm going to do. I'm just a
Oh
homebody.
no, I'm
Like,
outside.
I'd rather sit in the house. And I mean, sometimes you can take your, computer outside. You can sit on on the back patio or whatever. You can look outside, things like that. I don't know. It makes no sense to me.
For me, I mean, I don't know. I like working where I work at. I don't mind working in the office setting. I want to do. I don't want to be there forever though. Like I don't want to be there forever. But
Right.
I mean, I was thinking. I've been thinking about going back to school, especially if Biden, Lord Jesus, especially if Biden get rid of these student loans. I'm going back to school.
Yes. I saw that. Yes. Speaking
So
of our
because
college topics,
I genuinely want to be a teacher. I genuinely really do want to teach. That is my passion. I have a passion for children. I really, really, really want to teach. And I know that I just ain't did it because, honey, I ain't got the money. I can't afford
I
it.
think
But
you
I
will be
genuinely
awesome.
want to teach. Huh?
I think you will be an awesome teacher because you have a great bubbly personality.
Yeah.
You know,
Now,
you have
because
the
my family
tolerance.
had to, put my tennis shoes on every day and get my Vaseline because I'm definitely gonna have to go to war with somebody's child. But
I think you'll be a good kindergarten teacher, a good
yeah,
elementary school teacher,
that's
kindergarten through fifth grade. I think
my
you'd be
major,
good.
elementary education.
Yep.
No, I don't want to do secondary. No, I don't want to do. I don't want to do any. I don't want to be a high school teacher. I don't want to be a middle school teacher. Elementary education, give me pre-K. I'll take up to about fifth or sixth grade. But yeah, that's about all I'm gonna do.
I think if I had my choice of, if I had to do education and I had my choice of what class, I would do biology or chemistry. I have to do something physical where I'm moving around consistently and I'm, doing stuff with my hands. I think I would do that if that was an option that I had to, teach.
There are
But I just don't have.
I definitely want to look into it. And I'm like, damn, I was gonna ask somebody at work, like, I work for the Department of Education. There should be some type of program or something where they are doing reimbursement for something for their employees who want to go back to school. It has to be.
I think all jobs do that.
Not all of them.
My job does. They do reimbursement, tuition reimbursement.
That's good though. I
That's the
want
only type of job, girl. That's the first thing I look for because I know that I have, that I am in school and them books, girl. The classes I could deal with I could even deal with the classes, but when you got to add the classes and then the books on top of that, and you got more than one book for that class, oh Jesus.
my biggest thing is I don't do biology. I don't do biology very well. I don't like biology, but for me, I love learning. I love to learn. I love learning new things. I love exploring. I love just
Yeah,
learning. Like learning is such a big thing for me. I could sit and learn all day. It wouldn't bother
right.
me. It would not bother me. I learn, especially if it's not boring learning. And that's another thing about college and going to school. You have to make it what you need to make it. And some of these teachers be boring, and they don't know they know that they're boring. Some of them think they're boring,
That
and
is
some of them don't know
me.
that they're boring. You have to make it exciting for a person because it's nothing worse than sitting through a boring college course that you need, and you just like, I'm so uninterested in this. This is not
Right.
it. Me, it was biology. I cannot stand biology. I don't like nothing
Or
that
your
deals with
personality. It could just be the teacher's personality. The teacher's personality. The subject might be a good subject, but the
no,
teacher's personality might be
never
blah.
liked biology. Hated it. Always hated anything to deal with chemistry, science, any of that. I hated it. Can't stand it. Don't like it at all. Not my
I
thing.
like my favorite subject. My favorite subject is really weird. My favorite subject was geography in high
English,
school. That was my favorite subject. Geography.
geography.
I don't
Mine
know why.
was
That was my
math.
favorite subject. Geography.
Any math. I can learn math like that. I'm
Man, I
really
hate
good.
math.
I'm really good at math. I love.
I hate math.
I took a summer course. This is so crazy. When I was up CCDC, I took a math course in the summer, and they combined 4 weeks worth of shit into they combined 12 weeks or however many weeks of classes into 1 month.
And so,
Baby,
well,
when I
yeah,
say
I love them classes.
$3,000, he was like, "Oh, you gonna He asked me. He said, "Look, I'm teaching this subject." He was like, "What classes do you need?" And I was showing him. He was like, "I'm teaching this one. I'm teaching that one. You want to take my class?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like I loved it. I
I
love.
like the accelerated classes. I could do accelerated classes. Now, that's one thing I do like. I know a lot of people don't like them. A lot of people like the full semester. I like the half semesters. Like this semester, I'm not doing fall. I'm doing winter. I'm taking
You
fall
doing
off so I
what?
can concentrate on the kids. This semester, I'm taking fall off and I'm
Oh,
doing winter for some reason, I like the accelerated classes a little bit better than the full fall semester because they over so quickly. And I know a lot of people say they don't like it because the work is so crammed in, the same amount of work is so crammed in. But if you get the right teacher or the right professor, it's
Yeah.
pretty easy.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, Jessica showed me something when I first, started going back to school. Jessica showed me they actually had this website for colleges where you can look up the professor and the students rate the professor.
Yeah.
I did not know that. So that's how I've been picking my professors. I don't know
Yeah.
what professor watching, but that's how I've been picking y'all.
CCBC has this website. I can't remember the name of it, but you just look up the teacher name, and then everybody
Mhm.
they have reviews from all the people who ever took that person's class.
Yep. And they'll tell you this
They
is an
said
easy
don't
class.
take
Take
that
this
person too
class.
long.
Don't take this class.
Yeah, that's true. Though. I would do that too. That's what I should have did. I should have just took
What?
one class. And my heart for me, like I said, my hardest class was biology. I did not pass biology. I have literally taken all the maths that I needed because I knew I could do math. I cannot stand biology. I hate biology.
That's the only like Nate. I think that's what he said. I don't know. I wasn't reading it.
I would
The
do that. I
passing.
feel like, you know what, Nate? I wish somebody would have gave me that idea when
What?
I decided to just stop going because and I think
What?
when I was at a really hard point in my life, I think the house just burned down. I think I was really going through a lot of shit at that point, and then it was just like I started failing my classes, and I was just like, "Fuck it, I quit," and I just didn't go back. But I was all like, I think with CCBC, I might have about 2 or 3 more classes to take. That's it.
You better check because don't they expire after like 3 years?
That's a good question. That's what I want to know too. How when do when do your credits ever? I don't think so. I don't think they'll ever fall off. Like
Yes, they do.
they do. Nate said
They
they don't. I was about to say
for
I don't
community
think
college.
for community college you can transfer them to another school. Yeah, I was thinking about transferring the college and the top.
They told my husband
Girl,
that
that's
after
crazy because why would you have to retake all them classes over again?
it was trigonometry. They told her she had to retake a trigonometry class because she hadn't been back to school in like 10 years. And when
Who?
she was trying to take my mother,
Oh no. Baby math is still the same.
they told her she had to go back in. It was CCBC.
No.
They told her
You said
she
was
had
it
to
a
go back.
certificate program?
I don't remember. I think it was
So if it's so if so at community colleges at certificate programs or like you can get CPR certified. If it's a certificate or a certified program, it
Can you
may
check that real
expire.
quick?
So if you start and don't finish, you may have to take it over again. But if it's your general education, those last as long as you do. So if you stop out and you come back 5 years, 10 years later, or you transfer to another school, then you can use those same classes because they'll build your transcripts. But unless it's a certificate program, and the certificate program is like nursing or CPR, first aid, or something that's like clinical, you may have to take that over because their programs have a start and finish time. And if you don't
oh,
finish,
okay.
you
I
have
was
to do
getting
it
ready to
again.
say,
But if it's
you
just general,
sure? Because I had to take the classes over, but like you said, it was a clinical class. So I was getting ready to say, you sure?
right. So
Because I
if
know
you
they
got
gave
like
you the
if
teacher
you got
stuff.
like an associate's degree, if it was like for an associate's degree, those are normally timed courses. So you have to take them in a certain amount of time together, or you have to
Yeah,
restart them. But if it's
that's what
like
it was.
towards AA or something like that, then you don't.
Got it. I'm like, is you sure? Because I know that lady told me she couldn't re-add that. I had to do it over. But Yeah,
You
I
had to
mean,
take a class over?
yeah, I had to take a couple of classes over. So that's why I
Wow.
said maybe, well, like you said, it was a clinical class. It was one of the
It was a
clinical
who
classes.
class?
The clinical classes, it was like a
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
medical office assistant or something like that. I can't remember the name that day class. But
Oh
anyway,
yeah.
yeah. But I know they told her that too. I don't remember what class she was trying to do, or what major she was going for. But there were some classes that they told her couldn't be reapplied, that she had to do it over. And I think trigonometry was one of them, and it was a CCD. I'm gonna have to check with mother, and I'll give y'all the answer. I'll check with her and give y'all the answer next week on next week's show. But
I
speaking
don't know. I've been
well,
thinking
back
about it though. I've been thinking about copping. I've been thinking about Towson, even though I heard copping has a really, really, really nice program.
okay. Speaking of captain, that is part of my topic. Okay, because I hear this controversy. I've been hearing this controversy forever and a day between HBCU schools and like schools like Towson. Some people say that it's better to go to an HBCU. Some people say it gives a negative impact when you graduate. It's harder for you to find a job or career when you go to an HBCU. If you guys who are watching are out there and you went to an HBCU, tell us your experience once you graduated. Because I hear so much controversy with the HBCU. Some people say, oh, it's experience. I want my child to go to an HBCU because of the experience, because I want them to, get into their culture, because there's so many opportunities and so much to be offered. But then I hear people saying it's so hard when they see that you went to an HBCU college and it's on your resume. They tend to not want to hire you and all this other stuff. So I'm just trying to figure out what's the controversy, like what's behind it. What makes
So
an employer look at your
I
resume
want
and say that
to
you went to an HBCU?
so I went to a HBCU. I went to Coppin State University. Um, I'm gonna mute you for a second because I think it's your screen. Okay. So going to the HBCU, um, it's a up and down. It's really as I typed in a private message. It really depends on the individual. So I went to Coppin State University, but I was in a theater um, group at Towson University. The the drawback from going to say a Towson, a predominantly white school, your child may be forced to sit out things. So as a theater major at Coppin State University, I still had to fight for the roles that I wanted on in my theater department, but I had a better chance of being in a production. Most, if not all of the students that I knew that were in the theater department at Towson State University never got to do the main stage productions if it wasn't pertaining to their class. They only involvement they got to be in, and it's not a blanket statement, but it was a majority statement. A lot of them had to do crew or do backstage stuff. They never got to be a star or a main stage production. So that's the drawback. Many people really feel that the education is better, that the environment is better, that the resources are better, and sometimes that is the truth. But at Coppin State University, my professors knew my name. I knew them. And Coppin is a smaller school, so you may still have if you go to a Morgan or what's the other school out in Maryland, Howard or
Howard.
Bowie. You may have that big school mentality, but it's a little bit more nurturing. Your professors aren't any less qualified than the professors
Right.
at Towson. My
Right. Right.
professors all had at least a master's. Well, you have to have at least a master's degree to be a teacher at a university. But um, even on a doctor's level, a lot of them were very qualified, if not overqualified. Most times at a HBCU, your professor is working in their field, not just teaching you from a syllabus, but they've actually worked in that field. And that's probably true at a white school too, but it is definitely it's up to you. I spent my whole K through 12 at predominantly white schools, and I made the choice to go to a black school. And that was my choice because I needed that information as an artist that from artists that look like me. I really, if your child has not had an environment that was conducive to them learning who they are, send them to an HBCU. They're gonna get just as much. You have to still shop around. You still have to shop around. You still have to um, pick the schools that are right for you. But I do suggest that you find schools that are conducive for them to learn, and that's it. You still have to pick around. So pick the HBCU that's best for you. Do you want your school to go to a huge private black school like Howard or Hampton University, or would you want them to go to a smaller school like Eastern Shore that's also a HBCU, or to Coppin or to Bowie if you live in the Maryland area? You have so many black options. Pick the school that's right for you. That's the only thing. Only people that complain about HBCUs is people who already have an attitude towards black people in general. But HBCUs have the same financial issues that Towson has. You still will have issues with financial aid. You will have people in administrative that may be stealing. You will have the same problems no matter what. I'm sure if you talk to 10 students from 10 different schools, five and five of predominantly white or HBC, you will hear a lot of the same problems. So don't let those Negroes that may be tarnished or hurt by the black community let you think, that is a problem. Those same people hate Obama or hate Kamala Harris. Those are the same type of black people. Don't let people steer you from going to HBCUs simply because they may not be funded as well. Well, if more people were to go there, they would be funded better. They would be forced to be given more money. But yeah, so that's my spew on HBCUs. Let me unmute you. Go ahead, Kay.
So, would you say that the opportunities as far as grants and loans and things like that, would you say that the opportunities as far as different schools are concerned, would you say it's better one place or it's more, opportunities one place versus another?
You're going to get the same amount of money no matter where you go. Um, Often, the bigger schools, the predominantly white schools, they have a bigger donor base from their alumni and from private donors. So they may have a better opportunity to give your child a better scholarship, but they have the
Right.
same Pell grants, the same Sally Mae loans, the same
Right.
all of
Right.
that at every school at every public school.
At every
Private
public
schools may
school.
be a little bit different, or some of the religious set schools may be a little different. But again, if they don't offer a lot, well, they all offer the schools because they're all under the federal government. But the bigger schools, and that's black or white. Like Howard has better resources than Coppin, and they both
Right.
HBCUs. It really
Right.
depends on their alumni association.
Mm-hmm.
When you're trying to find a school for your child, look at their alumni association. Are they active?
Howard has a lot of
Yeah.
celebrities that back them that went there. Howard has a lot of support,
Hmm.
than most of some of these HBCUs. Some of these
Felicia
other
Rashad is now one of their professors.
one of their
Felicia
professors there.
Rashad is
Yeah,
one of their professors. Her sister is one of the alumni. Taraji P. Henson. A
correct.
lot of
Diddy, I think
celebrities
Diddy
go to that
is too,
school.
isn't he? Diddy went to
Diddy went.
Howard.
Puffy went to that school, but
Yeah,
it sometimes that doesn't determine their alumni association
yeah,
because of who
yeah,
went there. But this
yeah,
research, you can call up the alumni association at the school, and they'll tell you how active they are. They'll try to boost it up, of course, to get your child to
yeah.
come
They
there,
definitely
but
will.
they'll definitely, it really just depends on things like that. Coppin has a lot of local talented
A lot of
people who
local.
went to
Yeah.
that school. A lot of
Yeah.
local talented people. We have a couple people who will be considered famous that went to that school, but mainly we have a lot of local individuals that went to that school, and that's not a bad thing because we have an older generation that runs our alumni association for the most part. Look at their sports program, look at their academic programs, that what they achieve. That should determine whether you send your child to this school or that school, not whether it's a white school or a black school. Because the reason that a lot of our schools, even some of the bigger schools like Morgan, Coppin, Bowie, they are just receiving money from the government that white schools have been getting this whole time because their alumni association did not speak up louder, because their current body and their communities that surround the schools did not speak up more, did not vote, did not, go to the city councils or the government and plea on their behalf. But just pick schools that are academically or creatively sound for your child. Do not go by color because you'll be upset every time. Had I went to Towson, I
Every
would have
time.
learned a lot, but I would not have had a lot of the practical experience of
Yeah.
being an
Yeah.
actor that I did at the school that I went to. I learned from a theater professor who was about her business, who also worked in her business and knew what she was talking about, and gave me permission to teach up at a Towson theater program because she had connections with students that went there. I was attached to, because we didn't have all the resources on campus. I got to go to places outside and be connected and just figure out what's best for your child. You know your child. Your child knows themselves. You may know them a little bit better. Pick something that is sound for them. And in terms of the money, you know, you'll be able to see a school with an active alumni association normally has better grants, better funding, and better scholarships to be able to give your child more. But their grades need to be great as well. So don't think just because they have a great alumni, they're gonna give you the money. You still have to qualify for it. And black schools typically are much harder on you on grades than say white schools are.
Okay. I like I said Towson
Did
because
y'all
I
hear
know
anything I just said?
I did. Yeah, I
Because
did.
I just muted.
Yeah.
I said Towson because I know Towson has a really great education program. I know you said Morgan. I haven't really heard too much about Morgan's educational program, but I would be willing to give
Hmm.
Morgan a try. I would be willing to give Morgan a try. I like Morgan, so I wouldn't
They have an
mind going to
educational program. So Coppin is known for nursing and for the educational program.
Yeah.
Morgan is known for its engineering program.
That's what I was
Okay.
getting ready to say. I thought
It
Morgan
is
was
graduate program. Towson is known for more of their arts center programs. So every school has a specialty, but don't sell them short because normally this school is just known for that. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily the only best school or the only great school for that. But Morgan has a lot of alumni, and they have a lot of educational programs that go on there. So I would say it, but Towson is just racist. I'm sorry. These predominantly white schools are known for racism. It was in the news a couple years ago. Actually, when I was first starting to go there, a bunch of students, like every year, they choose a black student and they put a noose on their door. You don't hear
Okay.
about it because
Really?
they don't bring it to the public. But a lot of
Right.
students who are
Right.
going there, they've had a noose hung on their dorm door, or they've had racial incidents with teachers. Like I said, the theater students there are known for having to fight to get to be a part of the program outside of what their class requires them to be a part of. So it has its pros and cons. And as somebody who went to predominantly K through 12 schools, it is hard on your child. So imagine being an adult in an adult space and you having to go through the same thing. And many of your children have not had to deal with racism in their face that way. So it is really hard. And I'm not bad mouthing. I know a lot of great people that went and matriculated through Towson, but none of them had it easy. Not one of them.
Okay. That I have heard before with Towson. I do know that there are, of course, you're going to experience a lot of racism there at Towson. And I do want, like you pointed out something earlier. I do want to say, just because you go to a HBCU versus a PWI does not mean that you're going to get less of an education than some people would if they went to a PWI. Me personally, I really want to go to a HBCU, but I want to go to a HBCU where I know that they have a good program. I don't want to go because this is a popular school. I want to go because this program is genuinely good and I'm genuinely going to get what I need to get out of it. And a lot of times,
Can I bring up? Mm-hmm.
a lot of times people
I'm
be
sorry.
like, "Oh, you went there? You went to that school?" Like, yeah, I went to that school and I learned.
And but also it's the same thing when we talk about high schools. Oh, you went to Western,
Yeah,
oh you went to
yeah,
City, oh you went to
yeah.
it is up to the individual to make the
It is up
most
to the
out of their
individual.
education. You can go to a subpar school and be phenomenal because you
Yes,
learn how to
yes.
find resources outside of that subpar educational platform. Do
I did
not
not.
let people who don't have it, and most of
Yes,
those people don't have a degree, don't
yes,
have a degree. And if
yes.
they do have a degree from a predominantly white school, ask them about their and force them to be honest about their experience at that
Yes,
school. It just
yes,
because a school has more resources don't mean they're going to allow you to take part in those resources.
exactly.
And I know that from plenty of my friends who chose to go to predominantly white schools. The experience that they had, it either was very difficult for them to graduate or it was just hell for them to stay in that
It was
program.
hard.
And it
Yeah,
really just depends on the individual. The program don't the program helps, but it's your are you a person that studies? Are you on top of your studies? Are you great at advocating for you, or if
yeah.
you're the parent advocating for your
For
child,
your
are
children.
you great at finding resources that support your education? Don't let
Hmm.
these people, because I know plenty of brilliant people that went to Coppin. And people would say, "Oh, that's North Avenue University," but there's some
Yeah,
great individuals that went to that school and are doing powerful things right now in their community and abroad. So don't. I know people like to, do it, but we see the same thing when with high schools.
yep.
You're supposed to be a better student if you went to
If you went to
Western
Poly
versus
or if
if
you
you
went
went
to
to Poly.
Gumball.
And we know
Yeah,
plenty of Western. I
I
know
know
plenty
plenty of
of
Western
Western doves
girls
that are on
who
social services right now with 5 and 6 baby fathers. It,
yeah,
it don't make a
yeah.
difference. Like
It
it's the
doesn't make a difference.
individual.
It does not make a difference. Jalen went to digital, and at first I was a little skeptical because I wanted him to go to Poly and I wanted him to go to a good school. But when he went to digital, my perception of digital changed. I thought digital was a ratchet little ghetto school. Now, don't get me wrong, every school has their problems, but digital high is really a nice school. They have good programs. They have a lot of things. And like I was an active parent in Jalen high school years. I wasn't as active as I should have been, but I was active. They have a lot of good programs out there. And a lot of people would just automatically think like, ew, it's digital. Ew, it's a bad school. It is not a bad school at all. They had a swim program, they had football, they had basketball, they have it all. And I was just like, I had a really bad feeling about it at first, but when he got into it and he started doing things and started being a part of programs, I was like, oh, okay, y'all got that. Like I didn't even know they had a swimming pool. Like y'all got a pool in your school? He like, yeah. A lot of people don't know it. A lot of people didn't know that they had a swim team. I was like, wow. Like it was that was a really
Mhm.
good school for me. I really enjoyed it. Now that I think they have like this really great robotics program. Also on top of it, the principal is black. She's a female, a black woman. I love that. That was really good for me. And it was a black
Mhm.
male assistant principal. So I really loved the homey feel around the whole school. They knew me. They knew who I was. They knew I was Jalen mom. And I love him going to digital. I can honestly say I was really proud of that school when he graduated and he went through his 4 years. I was really, really proud of everything that school stood for. And I
It
did
just
not,
it really depends on your involvement,
it
especially on a
depends on your
high
involvement.
school level. I know we're talking about college, but even on that level, what you said about Jalen when he went to college, like you didn't let him work the first year, that type of support is necessary. So imagine what individuals who are the first ones in their school to go to, first ones in their family to go to
To go to
college,
college.
or
Yeah.
individuals that don't have the family support, or
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
knew people wanted me to go to college, but nobody really prepared me to go to college. Nobody really supported that process for me hands on. There
Yeah.
was a lot of people who may have, bought me lunch or um, helped me get a computer or something like that, which is very helpful. But if you don't come from a family that was a priority, your child is suffering.
Your
They're
child
really
is suffering.
suffering, and children emulate what they see, even
Yep.
though there are exceptions to the rules, because there are a lot of first time or first generation people that are in college right now. But support your child. Like, it is the same thing
That's
you
the
would do for
biggest
your
thing.
child in a high school setting. They need that in college. Like, I know it's not always possible to be able to send your child care packages, or room them. Like, sometimes the college experience in certain colleges, they have to be on campus the first year.
Yeah.
So in order to support them and encourage them and keep them lifted, college is difficult. College is the biggest space where you are an adult, you're being treated as an
You're
adult,
being treated as
but
an
you
adult.
don't have the know-how, especially when you go right after high school,
High
to be
school.
able
Yep.
to deal with life decisions like picking who your friends are, your study habits, going to bed on time so you can get up for
Yes.
that 8 o'clock class,
Yes. Knowing
studying
not
so
to
you're
choose an
not
8 o'clock class because you're not a morning person.
knowing what to do with that rebate check,
Yep.
understanding what it's really for, financial literacy. I was one of them people that got a Capital One card when I was a freshman in college, and I screwed it
Wow.
up, screwed it all the way up because I
Yeah.
didn't understand that wasn't my money, and I was borrowing money. It was
You was,
being
yep.
loaned to me at
It
a
was being
very
loaned.
high interest rate. But you
I
gotta
will
you
not
gotta
let
learn a
Jalen
way.
get a credit card. I did not want him to get any credit card or anything that remotely dealt with. He got a bank account, and I was happy about that. And he got a student bank account, which was
Mhm.
good. And I'm glad that he got a bank account with Chase Bank, and they taught him how to be responsible financially, and I love that. I
But
love Chase.
and as a black parent, and I understand that from a perspective of a black parent, because I had that same type of mother. But you really choke your child when you don't allow them experience like a credit card, because
Mm-hmm.
they become an adult and they screw up.
They
Even
screw up.
the most literate, financially responsible person, if you give them a credit card for the first time, they're going to stumble. Some may fail completely, some may fail a little bit, some may not fail at all. But allow them and guide them. Don't prevent them or don't hold them back. Like, even having a job while in school, it shows them how to be honest with their employees about their schedule, about their time, balancing their free time with their time. It all is there to prepare them, and you can help them by guiding them and helping them to learn how to layer on. But at college, I'm really against parents who are still as structured with them as they were in high school, because it's a different experience, and you have less peer pressure, but you have to start learning how to make decisions for yourself. And you just was blessed with a child who automatically knew how to fall in order and figure it out. But a lot
Mm-hmm.
of these students are not coming from homes that,
Or
they
teaching
get
them
to
anything.
college and realize, yeah, we may have a curfew at the dorm, but that don't mean I can't go on the next level and party
Right.
all
That
night
don't mean I
or
can't leave out
smoke
my
weed all
room. Yep.
night, and because they didn't have that freedom before. But
Yep.
even the students that stay at home, it's still a different level of foolishness that those students get into,
That
because they don't
okay, a
typically hang
different level.
on campus. Yeah.
That part, Nate. That's a different
Mhm.
level of foolishness. The
Yeah,
ones that
it
stay at home.
is.
Yep.
Because they don't typically, the students that live on campus and the students that live off campus, they still mingle with each other, but it's still a different level, because those students who live off campus, they normally hang out with other students that don't live on campus. And it just it creates a different level of foolishness. So they normally cut school more, or they hang out at the school versus going to class, or they get heavily involved in the activities of the school and forget about the academics. So it's a lot of prep work that is required. And that's on the backs of the parents too, and putting their children in college preparatory programs. You don't necessarily have to send your child to a college prep school, because a college prep school is not really preparing them for college. It's just giving them the workload that they're going to have to keep up with in college. But in terms of the structure, it's not structured. So, but there are a lot of programs that you can put your child into that will help them get to a space where they're at least prepared for it. So those summer programs that are normally on college campuses are normally great spaces for them to get prepared. And a lot of these, like boys and girl programs, are there because they do college trips. Find programs like that, or take trips yourself. But you're never prepared for college. It's just a different experience because you're thrust into adulthood, sometimes before you're ready or prepared. And if you don't have people who have gone down that road themselves or tried college, at least you have the amount of paperwork, financial aid, all that. And most stuff is done virtually now. But I remember having to go and stand in lines to get books, to get financial aid, to get classes, and it was hell.
It was hell.
And luckily it's not like that now. And you still can choose that option, but it's less
people
in
who don't want you to buy
lines
the
now.
used book for me. You got to buy a brand new book, baby.
Oh well, let me tell you the secret.
$200.
So the book secret is every library at every school has the book, and you can rent that book out. You can loan that book out of the library, and it's normally for a certain period of time.
You know what I used to do? I used to go to CCB library, and I used to copy the pages that we were going to be studying for the next couple of weeks. I would look at the syllabus, see what chapters we're going to be studying, and I would go get at least two or three chapters worth of that book, and then they'll do it the whole semester. I did that for a whole semester because
that's an option because they normally
spend $300 on a book.
They normally have one book. They normally have one book that can't be taken out that's there for people to reference. So definitely, but normally teachers have to normally order a certain amount of books to be in the library, and I will always just check that book out. Or you could go online and buy the edition behind that book.
Yeah.
So the only difference is how the chapters may be, and you may be missing a couple chapters, or you may be the chapters may be in different orders, but it's the same book. And then you can go to the library and print those chapters that you don't have. That's a big secret for people who don't have money to buy books.
And then Amazon. I rent a lot of my books on Amazon if I can't find them or they're too expensive. I rent them on Amazon.
Yeah. When I was
go to that school's library and rent those books out. It's the same, and the ones in the library, they normally have the older edition, and they have the up-to-date edition. Rent those books out. If you don't have them at like the Baltimore City schools, the Baltimore College, or the Maryland, all the colleges are connected. So if it's not at your school's library, it's at another school, and you can rent it, and they'll send it to that library. Or you can go to that library and pick it up.
Well, I'm just going to put my secret out there. I'm being sneaky. I'm just going to live in North Carolina because I ain't paying out of state cost. I say out of state cost for winter session.
That's a secret to any college student. Go to that library and rent that book, or you can go make copies like she did, or you can go to like Amazon, like Kay does, and get the past edition. Don't get the up-to-date edition because that's going to be like 3 times more. And the semester, if it would just change last semester, that book is literally pennies on the dollar versus buying
every semester for me because why? I remember one of my
Well,
professors
that's
at
because the book
CCBC,
companies.
one of my professors
Mm,
at CCBC, she had wrote a book for, it was psychology. She wrote a book and she made us buy her book. And that was our coursework
but see,
for,
and you just said it. You
but
just
she
said it. But you just said it.
gave it
So
to us
those
at a
college.
discounted price.
So
She
Katie
gave
said she wanted to be a college professor. Most times, until you get tenure, you're not making money like
You're
that.
not making money. Yep.
Until you get your tenure, you still have money because you can work in your field and you get what they call it's called something credit. You get credit for working in your field, which means additional money. However, you get to you can do stuff like if you publish a book, that gets you more money. That's like a raise for you. But also, if I get my students to buy my book, that's extra money in my pocket.
That's extra money. Yep.
So what I
We
would
had to
do
sell
is
her
go
book.
to the
That was
library and rent her
our
book out.
coursework.
That's what I would
Yep.
do. And like here, we have the Pratt Library. So you could go to the Pratt Library and rent that book out as well. I'm telling you, my rebate check used to be great because I spent as least money as I could on school.
I wish somebody
That
would have told me about saving my rebate checks, my refund checks. Baby, them refund checks came in the mail. Them $4,000 was looking good. Like, oh, let me go ahead and take this to the bank real quick.
But those unfortunately is a lot of people that owe money. But these are things that I learned like in the process. I wish I would have known before
I wish I
because
would
I
have
would
known
have took
before.
better advantage of it.
Yep.
But those are some of the best loans you could get. I know a lot of people who bought a car with that rebate check or bought a home with those rebate checks or paid
I
their like
definitely
I
bought a
used to pay
car with
my
one of
rent up.
mine. I paid my bills.
Yep,
Yep.
I would pay
I
my
paid my
rent up
rent
for
up.
a couple months.
Yep.
With that rebate check. Because the one that you get, so when you first get there, they
They was the
release a
ones who
certain
stayed
amount
at
of
home for
money.
me and they came to school fresh. You know when they got their check. They came to school
Mm-hmm.
fresh as shit the next day.
Yep, everybody wanted to go out and eat,
Everybody was
go
going
on
out to eat. Everybody
vacation.
had on the newest thing. Everybody had on butters. Listen,
Yeah.
at CCBC, you knew when somebody got their little rebate check, honey. They was coming to
Mm-hmm.
school fresh. You be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay, you've been eating noodles all week, and now look at you in the cafeteria.
Yep.
You've been eating breaking
Well,
noodles and going
you've been stealing food out of the cafeteria.
now look
you
at
say
you.
you
You got
been
your little
eating
rebate
noodles
check. Now you in
all
the
week.
cafeteria line.
I said that.
This
That's
is
what it is.
and this is why I still teach. I wanted to teach high school because I wanted to give this type of information, but I couldn't do it. But this
Yeah,
is
I
so I
can't
have
do
a
that.
lot of that type of knowledge. So if anybody ever knows any of your children about to go to college, just message me and I can give you a lot of what they call hacks uh, for people
Life
just
hack.
starting school because there's a lot of it's not about cutting corners, but there are a lot of things that you can do to prepare
There's
yourself
a lot of
or to
corners that
save
can be
money
cut
or save
to keep
money.
them on unnecessary costs.
And it's based off of mistakes that I made. So don't think I just
Yeah.
know everything to know it. But these are a lot of mistakes that I made that I wish I would have known. I wish I would have had a lot of people in my family that went to college that,
Yep.
my mother went to a college at a different time where college was like $30,000 for 4 years. So she didn't understand how much school had gone up. And one of the reasons I chose to go to Coppin because the tuition when I was going there was only like $2,500 a semester compared
Wow.
to say Morgan or Howard where it was close to $10,000.
Wow.
And that's even if you didn't stay on campus. So it's a big difference. It's a huge difference. But if you know how to work the system for a good way, this is where the hustle comes in. You get a lot of things, and I'm sure you knew people that went to BCCC that knew how to work the system, and you like this
Right.
nigga that got a whole degree,
A
and
whole
they done
degree.
transferred to a 4 year school, and they got a graduate degree now, and but it's certain people who knew how to work the system. I just didn't know how to do it at first. I learned based on trial and error, but yeah, get your
I had
child into
one
a
homegirl. I had one homegirl when she got her rebate check. She's actually smart about her. She got her rebate check and paid her credit off.
She got her what?
Yeah.
A rebate check and she paid her credit off. She kept paying her credit off.
That's good.
And was she
That's
a
a good idea.
non-traditional student?
No.
Was
Yeah.
she a
She was a
non-traditional student?
non-traditional. Yeah.
So normally the non-traditional students, this is why, letting your child work for a couple of years and then allowing them to go to school or giving them that freedom. Like Coppin was basically a non-traditional school. So people came to, and you come to school different when you older than 17, 18. Because you come
Right.
there, you get what you got to do, you go to work. Or you go
Right.
home. You're not socializing all day. But that's I really believe in letting your child pop out for a year. Some students can go right through. Some children need to go right through.
Right.
But some people just need that real life experience so they can go to school with a better idea. That's why I said if you know your child is not good with finances, with relationships, being distracted, make them go to a community college for a year. And it'll give them a foundation, but still give them that, that experience, and then they could transfer to a 4-year university.
I wish for me,
And
my
another,
biggest regret with college is I wish I knew how to handle my emotions better. I wish I knew how, and by emotions I meant by
Yeah,
letting outside life affect my college life. I wish I would have known how
yeah.
to better
That's what I
manage
meant by
my
relationships.
emotions with what was going on in my outside life as far as anything that I was going through. I let it affect my college life, and I regret that tremendously. I regret that tremendously.
that's
And
what
that's what I
happened to
meant
me
by
too.
relationships.
The
Huh?
first time I went to CCBC, that's what happened to me too. So I think you was my influence. That made me stop going.
If who?
I think you was my influence, my bad influence. That made me stop going to CCBC the first time.
The lie she said.
You was my outside distraction.
She lied.
But it
But
happens to all students
it
though.
happens.
I
It
remember
happens.
having, because I started school at 21, 22. I had friends that did not go to school, that didn't finish high school or didn't decide to go to college. And it was a distraction for me because I was trying to balance life, going out partying every night with them versus going to rehearsal and going to class. And I had plenty of friends that was like, oh, you going to hang out with your college friends now. And
Yeah.
there was a point where I had to drop a lot of them or let a lot of them walk out of my life because it was your child is balancing stuff that you have. It is the most difficult thing because you still an adolescent, but you are an adult still, and you're in that phase where you don't make good decisions. Like
You
you
don't.
would rather go sleep or hang
Especially
out
if you
with
did
your
not make
boyfriend
good
or your
decisions in
girlfriend.
high school.
Yes,
Especially if you did not make good decisions in high school. Your college years are gonna be I'm sad to say it's gonna be worse. It's gonna be
or
worse.
or if you had a parent like mine that didn't let you do anything
Yeah.
all the way
Yep.
up to high school, because
Yep.
now this is party town. I'm
That's what
partying
I'm
and
saying.
I didn't
I
party.
have a
I
friend
was
who,
crazy enough. I
yeah,
didn't party on campus. I partied off campus.
off campus. Listen, I have
Off
a friend
campus.
whose child is going to college, and this child has not experienced any type of life because the parent was afraid of what could happen, what may happen. Now this child is going off to college. This is their first year in college. I am sad to say, once they get that taste of freedom, that child is. I'm praying. I'm praying
And
that they
some,
stay focused.
but
I'm
see,
praying.
some children have you in their life where you're watching them, where you would see the change.
Yeah,
So stay on them. Be one of them people that stay active in their life because you'll get that experience of showing them what to do and what not to do. But
right.
I've just, I'm talking about myself. This talking over my own life. You can choke your children to death
You can choke them to death.
by not allowing them to see the world. Now, I'm not gonna let them go down
Yeah,
to the hood and play with their cousins. But
Yes,
you are exposing them to a space of when they get a chance to make decisions for themselves, you're gonna
they
do it.
did.
Me and my
And
sister
yep,
had to grow up like that. And my oldest niece, I already see her making those choices that me and her mother made. I ain't make the
wow.
same choices that my sister made, and my sister didn't make the same choices I made. But we both made some fucked up decisions. We both did, and I see my niece going down that road. It may be easier for my other three nieces than it was for her, but I could see that when you keep a child bottle up,
Yep,
when they get
yep.
that taste of freedom,
When they get
either
that
they go
freedom,
sink or
baby,
swim. They go
their
sink or
life is
swim
going to change tremendously. Their life
tremendously.
is going to change tremendously. And
Yeah.
I can only pray that they keep their head on straight. Because one thing about you have these parents out here who are trying to raise their daughters or their sons to not be like them. And the more you try to do that, I feel like the more the child shy away from you. You trying to, oh, I don't want him to turn out like me. Well, how they
But you
gonna turn out like
showing
you if
them.
they never failed? See, the
Well,
problem
if that's your fear, that means that's still who you are,
that's
and
still
that's
who
what
you
they
are.
are seeing from you. So guess what? You are giving them a roadmap to be just like you are.
Yep, you're giving them a roadmap to be just like you because you're living and you're teaching them habits out of fear. And I don't think that should be a way that people parent their children out of fear. Oh, I don't want you to get pregnant at a young age. Well, if it's gonna happen, if it happens, it happens. Now, what are you gonna do about it? Oh, I don't want you to go. I don't want you to do drugs. I don't want you to do this. I did not want my son smoking weed. I'm just gonna say this now. I did not want my son smoking weed. Do my son smoke weed? Absolutely, he does. Because when he went to college, that's what he did.
Yeah.
You know,
And
I
it's
don't.
not your fault that that's when
It's
it was
not my
introduced
fault,
to
and
him.
it's not my fault. I didn't want him doing that. Like I'm like, oh no, I don't want my son being no weed head, and I don't want him being this, and I don't want him doing that. And it's
And
like,
but it's a gamble though, because
yeah,
I am the sober friend. Like I drink a little bit until I realize it's not for me. And
yeah,
it's not obviously you saw my birthday this year. It is not
yeah,
for me.
yeah,
It's not for me. And I learned that I had to learn that young.
yeah,
I never did
yeah,
drugs. And I'm not saying it because I'm so great, but I saw what drugs can do to you.
yeah,
And my mother didn't hide that from me. She hid the fact that she smoked a little weed, but
yeah,
she didn't hide the fact that my uncles and them had drug addictions or my aunt had a drug addiction. She didn't hide, so I got to see what it was like. Now,
yeah,
did it prevent me from making other mistakes? No, I was not good with relationships, with friendships. I was not good with those things because that wasn't something that I saw a priority or
yeah.
healthy aspects of it. So it really just depends on your child. So your child may be a lot more responsible with smoking weed than you were. Or some children grow up and be crackheads.
Yeah.
That's how things happen. And you can give them all the information, but it's very hard to keep a child from doing what they want to do or they feel like they want to try.
Yeah, it's hard. It is hard, especially when
It's
they have that
impossible.
freedom now that they are not under your grasp. They are
Mhm.
miles away. Some of them moving across the country. Some
Yeah.
of them may be moving 3 hours away, even down the street. But when they go to college, their whole life experience is going to be totally different.
You got children that are crackheads that live right in the house with
They
you.
live right in
So
the
it
house.
don't matter how far they live. I know some parents be like, my child is not going away to school. It's not happening. Well, your child gonna live with you till you die.
So you
One of
die,
y'all, so
and
one of
they
y'all
okay
gonna be
with that
fighting
though.
death each other
And
with
they be
each
okay
other.
with that.
Mm-hmm.
The parents be okay with that. And that's the
Yep.
sad part about it. That's
Yep.
the sad part about it. But my advice for people who sending their kids back to college, especially young women, ladies, just be mindful of your surroundings. Be careful with who you hang out with. Make sure who you going with is who you leave with. No means no, and I know some men don't understand that, but be mindful. Document everything. Watch out for yourself. Watch out for your friends. Watch your surroundings at all times, because predators are out here and they prey on young college girls. Some of y'all has never left home, ain't never been away from y'all mamas or daddies. Be careful. Just be careful.
Can I
Study,
say the
study. Huh?
can I say the not so pretty version of what you said?
Say it. Say it.
A dick is gonna get hard regardless of if you do it now or later.
Regardless.
I'm sorry, a pussy is gonna get wet whether you
Regardless.
do it now or later.
Yeah.
If you put your education and your future ahead of you getting wet or you getting hard or whatever happens to your body when you at that point, I don't want to slut shame.
No.
But if you, she said no, but if you need it that bad, just know the decisions you make right now, 5, 7, 10 years from now, you're going to be living in the choices that you made for yourself 5, 7, or 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I wish someone would have put that into my head when I was 17, 18, 16, 10, 12, 9.
Yeah.
I wish that would have been said to me.
I wish.
And I tried. Every class I've ever taught, if you ask them the one thing that I said every day, they'll tell you, Mr. Couser said, the choices that you make today is the life you'll have to live with 5, 7, 10 years from now.
I wish somebody would have told me that too. That's powerful.
That's the cycle of life. And I've realized when you wake up and everything is hard, think back 5, 7, or 10 years ago. What choices did you make? And it'll help you not to panic. It'll help you not to be depressed.
Yeah.
It'll help you, but it won't change the fact that you made those decisions. The only thing you can do is make choices now. Now, those choices that you make now are going to be harder choices. The options that you have are going to be so much harder. But you're going to have to clean up a lot. You're going to have to struggle and sacrifice a little bit more. And I know Kay has younger children. And it's hard to get a child their age to understand what you're saying. But hey, I'm telling you now, put it in their minds. If it scares them, let it scare them. But these, because I'm just seeing too many students today that don't understand the decisions that they're making right now when they're 22, 23, 30.
Yeah.
I'm so. That's just my college life was just horrible. It was just horrible because I didn't get. I got a lot of great advice and life lessons from my great grandmother, my mother, my grandmother. Watching my uncles go away to college, quote unquote college. But I don't know
quote unquote college. Does that mean jail?
That means jail. That means jail. I was one of those children who was glad to believe that's where my uncles were. Away at quote unquote away at college.
You know what though? When I would tell my kids for a long time. I did have a youngest brother that's in jail. In jail for a long time.
Well, what did you think you was doing from hiding from him?
I just did not want them to understand. Like, I didn't want them to know anything about jail. But now it's like, okay, this is where I don't want you to be. So let me tell you why he's here. Let me tell you the reason why he's here.
That's what we should
talk about. They didn't even know they had an uncle. They didn't even know they had an uncle. They was like, who's that? Who's that boy was talking to Paulie? Like, even when he came out, they
that's
was
what
like,
we should talk about next week. Taboos in the black community. We we try to hide it so much from our kids, and we
Yeah.
refuse to believe the things that they're gonna learn on the outside. Like we
Right.
think of hiding them and sheltering them from it is not gonna let them. It's gonna help automatically not let them know about it.
I
No.
had to teach myself that. I really had to teach myself
Yeah.
that they have to know what's going on. Like it, I don't like to talk about funerals. That it took a long time. Like
Why?
I just,
Yeah.
I
I
know so many
my
parents
fear
trying
is
to
the
get their
question.
children to funerals.
My fear was the question. The question as to why. Well, the biggest one for me, it was my brother. When my brother got killed, I didn't even tell them kids until up until we actually the day that we was going to the viewing. I had to tell them like, look, your uncle is dead. That's, and then my
Now
mother
that
had to
is
explain
so
them what
killed.
happened. Because I just didn't want the questions as to the reason why, because I didn't want them to know that people were just so cruel to, take people's life unconsciously like that.
But I get that
I
from
don't like that.
parents because I know my mother kept certain things away from me. But the crippling effect of that
I know.
is depression. So
I
even
know.
if you expose it to them, at least you're giving them the information. Imagine becoming an adult and you don't know what drug abuse is or addicts are or what a funeral is.
Right.
I was one of those children that my mother did take me to the jail to go see my uncles, and I think I went through a phase of having really bad dreams, and I would jump up out of my sleep because I would hear these, when you go to the jail, all you hear is buzzers and
Mm-hmm.
doors slamming shut, the bars. And I remember, but my mother never exposed that. So when I told her those things was happening, then she stopped me from going. But as an adult, I have to appreciate the experience because I've never been there. I never, you don't have to tell me don't do drugs or don't sell drugs or don't get it. You don't have to tell me that because I knew that was where I would end up being. And it may be traumatizing to them in the beginning, but you give them the experience. I'm not saying every time your baby daddy go to jail or your little brother go to jail, you dragging them along with you. No. But they have to understand what that is.
Right.
And if you
That's
have those types of family members that glorify that behavior, those are the individuals you keep your children from.
right. That's true.
Because then
That's
that's giving them carte blanche to be like, a year in jail, I could do that on my head. No, you can't. You can't. You're not built like that, son. But yeah, it's oh wow. Let me go ahead, y'all. Go ahead. We just screw ourselves up so much, and we'll never. We
That's
don't
a
even
good topic,
Yeah.
though.
get our
That
Yeah.
is
children
a
first.
good topic. That's a great topic, though, because I was, like I said, I was one of those parents. I was. I just recently, the older they got, I started realizing, listen, if they gonna ask questions, you gotta answer those questions. So, but
Cause
I
somebody go
was that
introduce it to
parent.
them.
I didn't take them in certain places. I didn't take them to certain places. I wouldn't take them around certain people. They wouldn't go around certain neighborhoods, things like that. Because that's how I was taught. I wouldn't go, certain places.
Mm-hmm.
My mother and father kind of cliched us. Like they kept us in this fairy tale a little bit. So that's what I learned. So that's what I did. But then it's crazy because then my mother flipped it around on me. It was like, "Kid, you have to tell me these things." Wait a minute. What about me?
You know why? Because I think she realized where she messed up along the way with y'all, and
Yep.
maybe, and I don't want to say messed up. I think where she saw the mistake where it when she was raising you guys, so she didn't want you to go through that same thing. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. That's true. I think that is
But
what
that's
happened.
that's a big thing that Black parents have. Like we try to shelter our kids from so much stuff, and you don't know what outside forces is going to teach them.
But
Well,
it's not sheltering that. It's blinding.
yeah, that's what I'm going to say, and that's my biggest thing is that. So that's kind of what changed my mind about the way that I was going about it because eventually they're going to see it. I'd rather them to know rather than, like you said, outside, people or
Yeah.
friends telling them, oh, no, it's okay. Or you could be a cook. You could just snort a little bit of coke. No, the hell you can't. If your friend tell you snort coke, you're a crackhead. So you're a crackhead, you're a crackhead, you're a crackhead. Get out of the way.
Because what happens when they're sitting in a classroom next to someone that's from that neighborhood?
Right.
You can't take them out of the classroom every time they're introduced to somebody or keep them out of something every time. It's their parents that do that. But they're going to learn it from you or from someone else.
Right.
Yep.
In a good way or the bad way.
Yeah. And you would rather be the person that's giving them the information. It's this father and son that does these Instagram messages, and the father and the woman got in the car one little clip that he was doing, and he said, "Mom," he said, "Dad, what is tossing salad?" Or he said, "Eating the groceries." And the father found this great way of telling him. And then at the end, he was like, "Oh, man, Thomas was lying. He said it was eating eggs." Like, the child already knew. So you had an opportunity to tell them the truth in their own way. Right, but you lied to your child. So now you wonder why your child refers or defers to other people versus coming to you because you lied to your child. And then once your child realizes you lied to them, they'll never come back to you with anything important.
They will never.
Right.
Never.
That's true.
Never. All right.
But
Well,
anyway, these were some good topics. As usual, I had fun with you all. Thank you, everybody who viewed and watched the show. We always thank you for your support, for viewing the show, for sharing it out. If you want to become a sponsor, you can hit us up at PodcastIAmShe@gmail.com. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Remember to check us out on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. You can comment. Let us know on Facebook and Instagram. If you want to jump on there and you want to be a part of the conversation, do that on Facebook, our Instagram. Just let us know. Hey, I got something to say. I want to be on there. And they to bring y'all on. They to bring you on. Just make sure your hair done.
Yeah. Shut up. Not make sure your hair done. Stay tuned for updates on our 1-year anniversary show. We'll be sure to get that information out as soon as it becomes available, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you guys so much. For all the commenters today, thank you for commenting. For all the people who shared. See you guys next week.
I'll be back in North Carolina.
Bye, girl.
Bye.